Hello, I'm here talking to you on the day 13Z at the end of the Tijax Trecena. After 13 days of purification and cutting away and removal and polishing and discernment, we're here at this point in time where we're going into the Trecena of creativity, the Trecena of B'atz, the Trecena where we begin to weave the new pattern that we want to bring into our life, the new pattern that we want to bring into the world. Now, something that's always interesting to see here, of course, is that we don't just move in these 13-day cycles of Trecenas, we also move in the 20-day cycles from one Nawal back to the same Nawal. So the last time we saw B'atz was 7 B'atz. It was the end of the weaving. It was finishing something off, looking at the old creation. We've had these 20 days, including the last 13, which has been cutting off the bits that we don't want to carry forward before we go into this new creation, this new idea, this new weaving that we want to bring in. So it's a time of great creative potential. It's a time to be looking at and really seeing what it is that you want to bring into the world, what it is where you want to kind of like begin weaving your new cloth, your new tapestry that we're moving through in the next 260 days. So of course, the Trecena of B'atz begins on the day 1 B'atz. This day, B'atz is all about the thread, it's all about the weaving, it's your art, it's your creativity, it is the creative genius of the Nawalis. And however you create, whether it's with words or whether it's with music or whether it's with paint or photography or whatever it is, but also B'atz, I also see about being as the master of its chosen art. So it doesn't have to necessarily be what we might traditionally associate as being a normal art form. It's your art, it's what you're choosing to create. Now 1 B'atz, the 1 is like that little seed, like that potential. But also it's kind of like this thing of like, sometimes it's a little bit uncertain. Sometimes you're kind of like, well, I think I might want to create that. And sometimes you need to get a little push in the right direction. So it's also a good idea on 1 B'atz to maybe get some feedback from your friends and family as to whether your ideas are going like in a way that they think will be helpful to you. Whether this is a possibility to weave like that. So yeah, get your creative potential together. Get some advice if you need to and start your new pattern. This is a great day to begin creative projects, to get them on the roll, as it were. From 1 B'atz, we're then going to move into 2 So the journey, the path. The experience, the one who's come here to experience. It's the journey that we all take, whether it's a spiritual journey, whether it's a physical journey. 2 might actually suggest that it's a journey of relationship. And of course, all relationships are exactly that. They're a journey that we go on. We experience through them. We experience ourselves through the reflection of the other. We also experience the duality of the path, how sometimes we're walking uphill, sometimes we're walking downhill. But whatever we do, we're still walking forward. So 2 can give you a good day to see the duality within your path. It can be a great day to be working out what you're doing within a relationship, how you're working with that relationship, how you're working together and how you're walking together, as it were. From 2 we're then going to go into 3 So the spinal column, the father figure within the home. Very much associated with harmony, and so 3 is really going to be focused on the home, because you have both like 2 essences, the Nawal and the number, both are sort of focused on the inner world, a bit more kind of like about family, about home, about support. So it's a great time to be looking at how you are supporting yourself within your home, how you are creating harmony within your home. So this might take some bravery, because calls on us to use our spine, to stand up straight, to be brave. But we need to be brave, we need to call things out in the right way to ensure that we have harmony within our family, within our home. It's not maybe always the easiest of words, but that's why brings us that strength to say it. From 3 we're then going to go into 4 Ish. So Ish, the connection with Mother Earth, and the number 4 being very much a physical, practical, down-to-earth kind of thing. And so when we see 4 Ish, this is a great time to make a practical difference on Mother Earth. Whether it's through connecting with nature in whatever way, connecting with natural shrines and altars in some way, shape or form, making your physical presence known. Now, Ish asks us to look after Mother Earth for all that she brings to us, to give back to her. So 4 Ish could be a great day to go out, have a tidy up, especially if you've got a local sacred site or something that's in need of attention. This is the day to go and take your trash bag along, as it were. Clean the altars, make sure that they're physically being looked after. Now, of course, we could say, well, the whole earth is sacred, this whole place is an altar. So it's just as efficient and effective to be going out and litter picking in your area or whatever it might choose to be. And you might find that with Ish also being kind of like connected with the magic of Mother Earth, connecting with her sacred nature, that you might get some, let's say, unexpected benefits from going out and doing that kind of thing. After 4 Ish comes 5 Tz'ikin. So we have Tz'ikin, the Nawal of prosperity, Tz'ikin, the Nawal of vision, and here paired with the number 5. So the number 5 representing work, representing the hard work sometimes. This is about putting your effort into your vision. You know, this is this time of new creativity. This is, you're bringing this new creation into the world, and of course you're going to have to put some energy into it. It's not just going to happen on its own. So this is a great day to envision where you're going with that creativity and put your energy in accordingly to make it happen. From 5 Tz'ikin, we're then going into 6 Ajmak. So Ajmak, the Nawal of forgiveness. Ajmak, the Nawal of pardon. Here with the number 6, which can represent, well, it can represent the bringing together of heaven and earth in the physical plane. It can represent family, because that's what it is, bringing the divine masculine and feminine into the physical. That's our family as well. So this is talking about forgiveness of the family. This is also talking about something which might be maybe a little bit more esoteric in nature, but is manifesting or being expressed on the physical plane of existence. That's where the 6 comes in. So Ajmak days are always good days for forgiveness in whatever way, shape or form you want to make them happen. Whether it's something that you need to forgive or something you need to ask forgiveness for, Ajmak will kind of ensure that that's a day when it gets a little bit of extra power, and that 6 brings it into a really nice balance. So if there's any forgiveness work to be done, 6 Ajmak is a great day to do it. 7 Noch follows 6 Ajmak. 7 Noch. Noch, the Nawal of the mind, the Nawal of the brain, the Nawal of intellect and intelligence, the Nawal of thought and information. The Nawal that helps us to put together that information in order to bring it into a plan. And of course that's what we have to do with all of these things as well. That's what we're doing in our new creation, working out how we can use our information, how we can use our thoughts to bring it together. Bring those new ideas in. So 7 Noch, well, the 7 is taking it to the top of the pyramid. It's taking it to the final point. It's taking it to an end point. It's also showing us our options, showing us our choices. So it's kind of like saying, how are you choosing the information that's going to take you forward? It's time to make a decision as to which way you want to go, which way you want to use that information, and how you want to use it to come up with a plan for your way forward. From 7 Noch, we're then going to go into 8 Tijax. So we've had the Trecena of Tijax, which of course began on 1 Tijax, then 20 days later we have 8 Tijax coming in. 8 Tijax, well, this is the completion, this is the wholeness. This is kind of like being able to see, in some ways, the whole work. Once you've polished your diamond, what's it going to look like? Well, it's hardly a surprise that this comes in the middle of the Trecena of creation, right? But we also have the other aspect of Tijax, which is the healing. And for me, 8 Tijax is one of the most perfect days for healing ceremonies. This is a great way of using the energy of 8 Tijax, a great way of ensuring that we can make our ceremony, make our fire for the healing of all, for the healing of society, and to make it a whole healing, as it were, because that's what the 8 represents. It's the 1 and the 7 together. It's the life and the death coming together. It's understanding that whole cycle and understanding how to bring healing through it. So if there was a day to be looking for a healing ceremony, performing a healing ceremony, or anything to do with, even if you want to get some healing, then 8 Tijax is a perfect day for it. After 8 Tijax comes 9 Kawok. Kawok, the storm, the rain. Just waiting for the rain to come in right now. Maybe we'll see some lightning in a little while, I'm not quite sure. But Kawok is the one that brings us all this greenness, the rain, the storm, the rain that falls around us, that brings us these flowers, this beauty. Kawok brings new life into the world. She is the midwife to the resurrection of the maize. She's the one that makes the seeds grow, the one that brings them into this world. And so we see this aspect of Kawok bringing life, and sometimes bringing life through washing the old away. That also happens. But she's helping us to move forward. She's helping us to rebirth. And here we see it with one of the most interesting numbers of all for this combination, the number 9, representing the divine feminine and representing life itself. So this is literally almost like the rebirth of life. And again, we can see why this might fall in the B'atz Trecena, because it's taking life forward. That's what our new creativity is about. That's what our new creation is all about. And so 9 Kawok, again, Kawok is very associated with healing, so this could also be an excellent day to work on healing, particularly around women, because we have Kawok being the feminine aspect of healing, and we have the number 9 representing the divine feminine as well. So if you have some healing of the feminine that needs doing, and this is a great day to do it, to help you to move forward in your creation. Also, if you feel that you need to receive healing from a woman, this is a perfect day to do it again, because it's like it would be the day when they might be more tuned into it. From 9 Kawok, we're then going to go into 10 Ajmak. So Ajmak, the quest for the divine. Ajmak, the one who asks us to go on that journey within ourselves, the one who is helping us to find the hero within ourselves, the one who helps us to see, the holiness in this, in these clouds, in these mountains, in this lake, the holiness in everything around us. And then what does the 10 represent? Well, the 10 represents community, represents the hands coming together, represents society. So this is asking us to see the good in society, to see the higher aspects of society. Maybe kind of like saying good is like judging it, it's taking it too much into one side or the other. But it's asking us to see through things, to see the higher aspects, and also to demonstrate them, to accept them from each other, to help each other along our hero's journey, because it can be a tough journey. We're faced with these challenges and that, and sometimes we need a little bit of guidance, sometimes we need a hand up. A 10 Ajmak might be an excellent day for helping others with that, might be an excellent day for asking for help with that. From 10 Ajmak, we're then moving into 11 Imox. Well, Imox, the Nawal of the lake, of course. Imox, the Nawal of the waters, of the dreams. And the number 11, well, the number 11 can be going in many directions. The number 11 is not necessarily seen as the most linear number. It might go off charging in different directions in somewhat of a random fashion, or that's how we might see it. But that's how we blaze a new trail. That's how we bring in that new creativity. We don't bring in something new by repeating what has been done before. We got to add a different direction to it. 11 Imox gives us exactly that possibility to go and search out different dreams, new dreams, to go in a direction we haven't taken before, to feel compelled in it. Now 11 is a strong number, it's an odd number as well. And because of these things, it might feel a little bit turbulent. It might feel like you're not sure exactly which dream you're you're aiming for and that kind of thing. And really, I think with the 11 Imox, like, so long as we don't get too overwhelmed by what's going on in collective consciousness, because that can be a little bit of trouble sometimes, then we can really get the most out of 11 Imox just by allowing things to come to us, by observing all the different directions that the dream might be coming to us, so that we can understand what we want to weave into our new creativity during this B'atz Trecena. From 11 Imox, we're then going to go into 12 Ik, a very, very powerful day. Ik both being a powerful Nawal, and the number 12, of course, being one of the highest numbers of all. This is a great day for communication, and in particular, a great day for communication about your experiences. 12 Ik feels like a storytelling day to me, because it's kind of like communicating all of the experience that you've had, also allowing others to communicate theirs. Once again, you know, I said at the beginning that, like, when we have the one B'atz, this is kind of like, well, sometimes you might need a little bit of guidance on your creativity as to what you want to bring in. Well, this is a great day to ask other people about their experiences, because Ik is flowing with the divine word. And the number 12 is allowing them to draw on everything that they've experienced in life. So it's a great day to be working with them, to be receiving that experience in order to take into your pattern. Also, to be sharing your own experience, of course. And then finally, we'll be going into 13 Achabal. So, Achabal, the dawn and the dusk, the new sun, the new day being born, that moment, that twilight just before dawn. The promise of a new day, the promise of the light returning after the darkness. We can see it as conception, the new concept. Now, the interesting thing is that the 13 Achabal is what is seen as the conception sign for 8 B'atz, which will occur in the following Trecena, in the Trecena of Cat. And so it's literally the conception for one of the holiest days within the calendar. And as such, we can see it as the conception from the ancestors. We can see it as the conception from spirit, which is going to help us to weave together the new weaving, which we're beginning on 1 B'atz, and the old weaving, which we finished on 7 B'atz. It comes together on 8 B'atz. The conception for this is in 13 Achabal. So 13 Achabal is a great day to get up at sunrise, meditate, and receive a new concept to bring into the world from the ancestors. Again, as I said, sometimes in our new weaving, in our new creative project, we need that little bit of inspiration. We need that little bit of guidance. And here on 13 Achabal, this is exactly it. It's the guidance that comes to receive a new concept from the ancestors that we can then take forward. So, that's been the B'atz Trecena. I hope that you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you in 13 days' time for the Cat Trecena. Thank you.